I had no idea that in 2016, when I first downloaded this free game called Rocket League, that it would basically take over my life. That one day my entire career would literally be oriented around this silly physics-based car soccer game. I've been obsessed with this game on console and then on PC, and I'm wondering what's next. Am I gonna be hooked on Rocket League Mobile? Maybe become like a mobile content creator? Seriously though, can you even flip reset in this? Anyways, today I'm bringing you 9 things nobody tells you about playing Rocket League. This video is not just for those of you who've never picked up the game. I have a feeling it will ring true for many of you Rocket Leaguers. Now, I have to say really quick, guys, if you have not checked out my mechanics master course for Rocket League, link is in the description. You guys have to check this out. Even if you don't buy it, just go to the homepage and see what it's all about. I cover pretty much all of the main mechanics that you can learn in Rocket League, from things like half flipping, like recovery mechanics, all the way up to things like double touches and backboard reads. There's a ton in here, and tons of people have already learned a lot from this course. It's really just a great sort of place to have basically all of the important mechanics in one place, and you can come back, learn stuff, sort of have it on your other monitor while you're practicing. There's training packs and quizzes and videos. There's a ton there. So click on the link in the description and use code FLuuMP to get 30% off. It's so cheap, guys. When you use the code, it's just totally worth it. So check it out. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump into 9 things nobody tells you about playing Rocket League. The first thing we need to talk about is how it feels to play the game. I've played a good chunk of video games in my time, maybe not as many as some of you, but I've gamed, I've really gamed, and I have to say, there's nothing like Rocket League. One way I like to describe it is that the game feels heavy. What do I mean by heavy? Well, the game really feels real, like in the same way that life sometimes feels heavy, not emotionally or anything like that, but just like you pick up a basketball and it feels heavy, and you throw it up at the hoop and it's like, man, it's real, it feels real. So let's take a shooting game, for example. You've got your gun and you're aiming, and you either point with the mouse or controller and you shoot. And no matter what they do to the game and to the physics of it, and even to make like your controller vibrate, it feels nothing like picking up a real gun, feeling the metal and the weight of it and like aiming it, hopefully at a target while you're breathing and, trying to stay steady. It feels like a video game when you play these shooter games. It feels light, so to speak. Rocket League may not feel exactly what it would feel like to drive a car around with a real ball, but it does feel that sort of heaviness when you make your car jump or fly or turn. The physics feel as real as they could for a game of this kind, and for that reason, I think it's just so immersive, for people. Once you get into that mode, into that mindset where you're trying to learn something new in Rocket League, the feeling of pulling off, what you're setting out to learn is just unlike anything else I've experienced in a video game, because it does feel so real. I guess another way to say this is that Rocket League feels like a true physics-based game, and I really think they've nailed that aspect of it. Okay, this one is pretty important. Rocket League isn't like a game that you pick up and play for a bit and then move on to something else, at least for most people. It is addictive. Again, for most people who really give it a go and put in a good chunk of hours, they usually get pretty hooked. And I think there are a few reasons for that. One is the nature of the game itself, what it feels like to work on mechanics and skills and just see improvement in your game. The fact that the games are short, like 5, usually 6 minutes. The fact that it's non-stop action, unlike a game like Fortnite or other battle royales where you spend like 15 minutes doing virtually nothing. But the real special sauce for me and for most people is the combination of the game feeling a certain way and everything that comes with it, and combining that with ranked. Now, other games have ranked and many other games are equally addictive, but for me, working up through the ranks is really what made me obsessed with this game, thinking throughout the day, tonight's gonna be the night that I hit diamond or whatever. I just know it's gonna happen. And then you end up losing like 6 games. Meanwhile, John Sandman is out here well into GC, and you're like, why is he better than me? I'm definitely as good as him, I just haven't realized it yet. I haven't fully realized it yet. My skills are there, they're just not fully there. And then months later, you do finally rank up, and all that hard work, it just feels so good. Like I said, it's addictive. Number 7, it is literally impossible to be good at Rocket League from the get-go. Now, it's true, different players advance and improve at different rates, but Rocket League isn't like just playing another shooter. There really are no previous skills in gaming or anything that will give you much of a leg up in Rocket League. This is because of what we talked about earlier. Rocket League is just so different. I'm trying to think of how it could compare in real life. It's almost like golf. You know, there's a sense in which if you've played baseball or even racket sports, you could have a leg up in golf, but hitting that tiny ball with a tiny club head, man, it's just different. And it's going to take tons and tons of practice to really build the muscle memory to maintain a solid, consistent golf swing that causes you to actually hit the ball solidly pretty much every time. Even still, Rocket League is even more unique in my opinion because there's really nothing like it. And until you get in there and you start feeling what it's like to hit the ball around with your car and drive up the walls and fly around, you can't really expect to be any good. You're gonna be complete doo-doo. But hey, that's half the fun. Okay, switching it up a bit, this one is really important. Your car choice, for all intents and purposes, doesn't really matter. Now, it's true that technically the cars are different. Well, some of them are different. There are 6 main standard hitboxes that all of the cars fall into, and those are a bit different, a bit. And it's true that visuals do matter. You know, even though 2 cars have the same hitbox, they can feel different. But for those of you who are just starting out, this matters so little. That's really more of a thing down the road when you have hundreds of hours and you're really honing in your game. For you noobs at the game, the cars all do the same thing. It's not like any of them jump higher or dodge faster or, travel faster, or power slide better. Wheels don't matter, toppers don't change the hitbox. These aren't like weapons in other games where you have different strengths and weaknesses. Now, I say all that, just don't use the aftershock or the hotshot. That's what I would say. Those cars are literally broken and you'll struggle to hit the ball well with them. All right, number 5. It doesn't matter if you have 100 hours or 1,000 hours or 10,000 hours. Rocket League can be a really frustrating game for multiple reasons. Seriously, it's worth checking yourself and checking your motivations and I guess checking your spirit. I don't know how to say that. But if you think Rocket League will never make you mad, think again. Now, if you're coming from Fortnite or other competitive games, maybe League, you probably know what it's like to rage. Rocket League isn't any different. But I think the simple fact that you're not killing people in this game, and there's no dying, besides demos, you're not getting eliminated, it makes people think that it's just some clean, easy, simple E-rated game, and that just isn't true. It's highly competitive, it's fast-paced, and sometimes insane, ridiculous, and even unfair things happen, and there's just no getting around that. You will lose on a 0-second goal, you just will, and you'll be mad. But know this, someday you'll also win on a 0-second goal, and you'll get the satisfaction of knowing that across the interweb, somebody's feeling that misery that you experienced. So, it's fun. Number 4, this is so true and so important. You can get better, and I guess you could say improve by just playing. And don't get me wrong, playing the game is important, but if you want to learn the mechanics and techniques and skills necessary to really rank up, you have to train. You'll never learn to hit a flip reset from just playing. You have to go into custom training or free play for hours sometimes, practicing that shot over and over again until your hands start cramping and you start getting tired. And then you'll need to go watch a video on somebody doing that move, and then again you'll have to jump back in and try it. This is true of even more fundamental skills as well, not just the fancy stuff, whether it's half flipping or wave dashing, to even making solid aerial touches or flying off the wall with control. Some people don't like practicing, like Allen Iverson.
Listen, we're talking about practice.
But really that's where the fun happens, in my opinion, and where you actually get to see real improvement, not just playing ranked over and over and over again and never really improving. Training and improvement comes first, rank comes second. That should be your focus. All right, number 3, this one's really important, and I feel like I'm just now getting this, but there is more than one way to really be good at Rocket League. Some players focus on high-level mechanics and mechanical skill, and that does give them, sort of an advantage. As I mentioned before, I do believe mechanics are key to getting better, but knowing how to hit a flip reset simply isn't as important as having that high level of game sense, where you just know what the other player is going to try, or you know how long to wait to challenge when you're on defense in a 1v1, or even just knowing how to play patient when you're under pressure, being okay with picking up a few boost pads and staying in the mix and keeping pressure. These are things that aren't really mechanical, but they're so important, arguably more important than a lot of the crazy mechanics that people focus on. So again, I cannot recommend Gamers Ready enough. There are coaches there who will help you with this stuff. Also, check out the other courses that are available on the site. These cover all sorts of topics in Rocket League. You don't always have to be the most impressive player to win the match in Rocket League. I think that's really what I'm trying to say. All right, number 2, more than any other game, and because this game is so unique, you're going to have to put in more hours respectively to get to the highest level. Taking up this game is like going on a journey. It's not a quick trip, it's a literal journey full of of ups and downs, lots of ruts where you feel like you're not getting anywhere, and then like breakout moments where you improve super fast in a short period of time. You simply have to put in the hours to improve. Sometimes it will feel like there's mechanics or skills that you simply can't learn. Yeah, others can do this stuff, but you just can't, and you're never going to be able to. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Anybody can do anything in this game with enough time and enough practice and commitment. Now, if you're wanting to be able to hit 6 backboard resets, yeah, that's going to take a while. But my guess is that you probably don't even want to do that. You probably just want to hit a flip reset or, get to the next rank and you feel stuck. Putting in quality hours of training and practice will lead to results, and you will become better if you put in enough time. You become better than you ever thought you could at this game. All right, last but not least, if you really want to enjoy this game, I recommend going deeper than just the game and playing the game. This is something that will happen naturally. This is something people don't realize. Getting involved in the community, whether it's on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Discord. Honestly, Discord is great. There's more than just you and the game. There's real people, and some of them happen to be the coolest people that I've met in my life. Sure, there are toxic kids out there, but man, I've met so many more nice, giving, friendly people who genuinely care. And I really believe getting involved in the community, going to events if they happen again, watching RLCS, finding friends on Discord, that's where you're really gonna fall in love with this game and create some long-lasting memories. Anyways, didn't mean to get too sappy, but I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you're new to the game, I hope I didn't scare you off. The game is intense, but man, it's so rewarding. I think the fact that Rocket League is so unique and so challenging, like that was what really enticed me at first. It's part of the reason, I dove into the game the way that I did back in 2016. So you won't regret playing this game, I promise. Just remember to have fun, and more importantly, go buy my course. You can get 30% off when you use code FLuuMP. Also, link in the description, click on it, go buy it, boom.